Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is Richmond's Morning News on News Radio WRVA. Wake up with us or spend the rest of the day trying to figure out what's going on. All right. Today's tax day. I just talked about, do they really respect my hard-earned work when they seize my property? I know I need to because there's things the government does that I need. I need sewer. I need water. I need roads. I need to be protected by an army. There's things that we need from the federal government. Do they treat our money? Do they respect it? Do they understand that it's my hard-earned tax dollars that pay for all of these things? So other people have some different ideas. One of the ideas that we see thrown out and actually put into place now is in New York and in California and other such places where they say, you know what? Let's just tax the rich even more. Let's tax the billionaires and let them pay for everything. Would that work? Let's find out. We go out to the News Radio WRVA Newsmaker hotline. My mentor, someone I respect more than anybody else in the world, professor of economics, classical economist, Dr. Richard Bilas, joining us here on News Radio WRVA. Good morning, Dr. Bilas. I am doing well. So I called you today. I said, Dr. Bilas, I need your help. Zohran Mamdani's got his billionaire's tax. Gavin Newsom's got the threat of a billionaire's tax. What would happen if we were to follow their idea of the Democratic Socialists, aka communists, and just tax the rich and used all their money to pay for everything? And we'll start to see this now with a billionaire's tax that's actually taking a foothold in this country. If I did just tax them at a higher rate, and we've seen this throughout history. We've seen this when we had such a regressive tax rate that it didn't make any sense to try to become more successful. In fact, I think that it actually made people less successful, because who wants to work your tail off and give 60, 70, 80, 90% of your income to the federal government? There's negative that comes along with that. Zero. Why do you predict that failure? Mamdani just said, listen, I'm opening up my first public grocery store, and we will have prices cheaper than everybody else, and it's going to be great for everybody. That's a fallacy he's sending. He told everybody that he also sold sold everybody on, hey, we're going to have free buses. That's not going to happen. Why is it that these pipe dreams never come true? The margins, they make money in volume, not in individual purchases. Subsidies, and they'll call it subsidies to make them stand upright. And by the way, he says, I think he said that they're not going to have the store open for 3 years. So I don't know a business that could withstand 3 years of building out before they go into business to see the first dollar come in. But here's it. There's a movie called The American President. Annette Bening and Douglas was in it, and there's a line in there with Michael J. Fox says, "In the absence of leadership, people will crawl across the desert to a mirage when they're looking and searching for a leader." And that always spoke to me that a lot of times we look so hard and we're so desperate for a leader, you'll latch on to the first person that shows you any kind of leadership. It tells you what you want to hear, and I think that's what's going on in New York. Mm. 100%. Let me go back to tax policy for a minute. And I do, and I appreciate that because I think that's important for people to understand when you're talking about the good shepherds and such. Um, I never understand this. We get so caught up in tax rates. The rich should pay their fair share. Should I care about the percentage of tax you pay? Because it almost seems like I want to punish the successful in a Robin Hood way, that I'm going to take from Elon Musk to give to everyone else because he's so successful. We must punish him almost like we treated his success like he did something wrong. Did he break the law? Did he steal something? No, but we still want to punish him. And I get so many people worked up over tax rates. I'd rather worry about tax revenue. I don't care how much you pay percentage. I just want to make sure you have enough revenue to cover everything we have. It seems like we get lost with wanting to raise the taxes on everybody instead of worrying about, well, at what tax rate will we have the most revenue where our government can run efficiently? And, and that's what angers me because you'll hear politicians in DC talk about, well, the waste, fraud, and abuse. How dare you have any waste, fraud, and abuse? It would almost, Dr. Bilas, is this logical? If I had waste, fraud, and abuse, it's no different than if I've got a leak in my water pipes. I wouldn't allow just a little bit of leakage out of my water pipes. Why are they allowing a little bit of leakage out of my tax dollars with waste, fraud, and abuse? And they're not concerned. 100%. Okay, last thing. Let's just say that they keep going and going and going. If we wanted to tax all these billionaires and take everything they have, how long is it before we don't have any billionaires and that stream of income would go away and we'd be right back to zero with less growth, less jobs, less businesses? Maybe Kathy Hochul should have taken your classes because that's the exact same thing she's saying to all the wealthy people that fled New York, went down to Florida. She's now begging them to come back. A while ago, I don't want these people here. You're not true New Yorkers. Now she's begging for them to come back because they've seen their tax revenues fall because of all the wealthy people. Come back, come back. Yeah. And they have plenty. They have, and they have and they have plenty of money to take care of everything down in Florida, thanks to Ron DeSantis. Dr. Bilas, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Again, the bottom line is people will vote with their feet. If you tax people into oblivion, they will leave, and then you'll be left with nothing. Maybe you should just be better stewards of our money and not try to punish those that have been successful, and it might work out a little bit better. Thank you, Dr. Bilas. I'll catch up with you. All right. Thank you so much. Dr. Richard Bilas joins us here, my mentor. Again, he's one of the brightest